The observation deck of a celestial remnant offered a view that few beings in the galaxy would ever witness. Earth, restored to its former glory, spinning peacefully in the void. Hazel pressed her hand against the transparent aluminum viewport, her fingers trembling despite 3 centuries of cultivated control. Beautiful, isn't it? Leo's voice carried across the empty chamber, his boots echoing against the metal floor as he approached. They did a remarkable job with the restoration. Hazel didn't turn. She couldn't. If she looked at him at any of them, the rage might consume what little composure she had left. They destroyed it first. Seems only fair they'd clean up their mess. Leo stopped a respectful distance away. He'd learned, over the decades of these encounters, to give her space. The council wishes to speak with you again. They want to apologize. Hazel laughed, the sound bitter and hollow. For the 300th time, for the 1000th. Tell me, Leo, how many apologies does it take to resurrect 7 billion people? The Valerian diplomat remained silent. His species had lived for millennia, but even he seemed to struggle with the weight of this particular conversation. They always did. Hazel finally turned to face him. Her body was young, regenerative medicine had seen to that, but her eyes carried the weight of centuries. I was 23 years old when the coalition arrived. Did you know that? 23? Fresh out of university, working my first real job at the observatory in Chile. She began to pace, each step measured, controlled. I watched them descend. Hundreds of ships, beautiful and terrible. We thought God. We actually thought they were coming in peace. Her voice cracked. First contact, humanity's greatest dream. Leo's crystalline features shifted in what might have been sympathy. The records show nothing. Hazel's shout reverberated through the chamber. They don't show my mother's face when the atmospheric processors started failing. They don't show my little brother choking on air that had been breathable for millions of years until your coalition decided Earth's resources were more valuable than its inhabitants. She moved closer to Leo now, her anger overriding her usual caution. Do you know what I did while my species suffocated? While 7 billion souls gasped for oxygen that your people were mining and shipping off-world, I hid. Like a coward, I hid in a bunker with 17 other researchers, breathing recycled air while the world died above us. You survived, Leo said softly. That's not cowardice. No, Hazel's laugh was sharp. Then what was it when, one by one, they all chose to end it? When they couldn't bear the guilt of living while billions died. When I was the only one stubborn, enough or broken enough to keep breathing. She turned back to the viewport. I spent the first century trying to find other survivors. Every abandoned city, every shelter, every vault. Nothing. Just me and the ghosts. The second century had been different, she reflected. That's when the coalition returned not as conquerors, but as penitents. They'd found her signal, her desperate broadcasts into the void. They discovered what their greed had wrought. We've offered you everything, Leo said, his voice carrying genuine anguish. Immortality, wealth beyond measure, an entire planet restored. We've prosecuted every official involved in the incident. We've made reparations. Reparations. Hazel tasted the word like poison. You can't make reparations for genocide. Leo, you can't balance that scale. Then what do you want? For the first time in their many encounters, Leo sounded desperate. Tell us, anything. The entire coalition is ready to grant whatever you ask. Hazel was quiet for a long moment, watching Earth rotate below. They'd done an impressive job. The oceans were clean again, the forests regrown, the cities rebuilt. It looked exactly like the world she'd lost. Almost. I want, she began slowly, for you all to live with what you've done. I want you to wake every day knowing that an entire species' brilliant, flawed, beautiful humanity was extinguished because of your arrogance. I want it to haunt your collective conscience for the next 10,000 years. She turned to face Leo fully now, and her expression softened slightly. But more than that, I want you to be better. The coalition has spent 3 centuries groveling before me, treating me like some holy relic. Stop. Instead, make sure this never happens again, not to any species, not to any world. Leo's features brightened with something like hope. The sentient protection accords are a start, Hazel interrupted. But I've read them, they're full of loopholes and exceptions. You need to do better. Make me believe that humanity's sacrifice meant something. That our extinction taught the galaxy the most expensive lesson in its history. She moved toward the exit, then paused. I'll speak to your council again, but not as a victim seeking justice, as humanity's final representative, making demands. Earth will become a memorial world untouchable, sacred, and every species in the coalition will send their youth here to learn what happens when convenience is valued over consciousness. It will be done, Leo promised. See that it is. Hazel stopped at the doorway. You asked what I want. Leo, I want my species' death to save countless others. I want humanity's last gift to the universe to be compassion, the very thing your people lacked when it mattered most. As she walked away, Leo remained in the observation deck, watching Earth spin below. The last human carried the weight of billions, and somehow, she transformed that burden into purpose. Perhaps, he thought, that was the most human thing of all. 300 years of grief, 300 years of rage, and still, somehow, hope.